Have you ever woken up in the morning, taken a deep breath, and thought to yourself, how did I get here so fast? One minute you're chasing toddlers around the house, and the next you're looking at grandkids doing the same thing. Time has a funny way of slipping by, doesn't it? But here's something I truly believe. It's never too late to add life to our years, and even with the right habits, add years to our life. Now, I know mornings can feel different after 60. Some of us wake up slower. Some of us have a few more aches and creaks than we used to. And some mornings, well, they just feel a little quieter. But that quiet is actually a gift. It gives us the space to be intentional, to choose how we want to start our day, and in turn how we want to live our life. You see, how we begin our mornings after 60 can have a bigger impact than you might think. Not just on how we feel that day, but on our brain health, heart health, mood, energy, everything. It's like planting seeds each morning that grow into something beautiful over time. So today I want to share with you 4 gentle, powerful morning habits that can help you feel better, move easier, and maybe even stick around longer to see more of life's beautiful moments. Let's start by taking a little walk down memory lane. Do you remember those mornings when you were younger, when the world felt open and fresh and just getting out of bed was exciting? Maybe it was a vacation morning, or your wedding day, or a day when something special was about to happen. That spark? That little zing in your spirit? It doesn't have to go away just because the calendar's pages keep flipping. That same spark lives in you. It just might need a little morning encouragement. One of the most underrated yet incredibly powerful habits you can start with is this: hydration. Yep, a glass of water. Sounds simple, doesn't it? But after age 60, our body's thirst signals get weaker. Many folks don't even feel thirsty until they're already dehydrated. And when we're dehydrated, we might feel foggy, dizzy, sluggish, or even anxious. Ever get up and feel a bit off, like your balance isn't quite there, or your brain is just waking up slower than the rest of you? Sometimes it's just your body quietly whispering, I need water. Now, I'm not talking about gulping down a whole bottle the second you open your eyes. Just keep a glass of water next to your bed, and when you wake up, before the coffee or tea, take a few slow sips. Let it move through you gently. Think of it like oiling the gears of an old but beautifully built machine, your body. Those first few sips say, "Good morning, body. Let's do this together." Some people like to add a little lemon or a pinch of salt if their doctor allows it, to help with absorption. But plain water does wonders on its own. It wakes up your digestive system, gets your brain alert, and helps your joints feel a little less stiff. And here's the beautiful part. It's such a small, doable thing. No gym membership, no pills, no new gadget. Just water. And consistency. That leads me to another morning habit that many folks don't realize has such a deep impact on longevity and happiness: gentle movement. Now, before you roll your eyes and say, "Oh no, not another person telling me to exercise," hear me out. I'm not talking about jumping jacks or lifting weights, unless you love that, in which case go for it. I'm talking about soft, easy, loving movement that tells your body, hey, we're still in this game. Let me tell you about a friend of mine, Margaret. She's 74 now, and every morning she does what she calls her sunrise shuffle. It's not fancy. She puts on some soft music, stands by the window, and just stretches her arms, lifts her knees, and sways her hips for about 10 minutes. That's it. No pressure, no routine to memorize. Just movement. She says it reminds her that she's alive. And you know what? That simple practice helped her ease her arthritis pain, lower her blood pressure, and even improved her balance after a small fall last year. When you move your body in the morning, even just a little, you're telling your brain and heart, I'm still here and I'm still going. It improves circulation, wakes up your nervous system, and gently turns the lights on in every room of your body. It doesn't have to be perfect. It just has to be yours. Some people enjoy a few yoga stretches in bed. Others take a short walk to the mailbox and back. Even swaying side to side in the kitchen while your tea is brewing counts. The point is, your body craves motion like a plant craves sunlight. And when we give it what it needs, it gives back in energy, strength, and resilience. Morning movement helps you stay independent longer, feel lighter on your feet, and even boost your mood for the whole day ahead. Think of it as your daily tune-up, like warming up a classic car before taking it for a peaceful drive. Now, before we go any further, let me just say this. If what we're sharing here is sparking something inside you, or even just reminding you of something you already knew deep down, I'd be so grateful if you tapped that like button or shared this video with a friend who might need a little morning inspiration too. Sometimes the smallest encouragement can spark the biggest changes. You don't need to be perfect. You just need to begin. Whether you're 60, 70, 80, or beyond, every day is a fresh opportunity to honor this amazing body you've lived in all these years. So tomorrow morning, when you wake up and stretch your arms toward the ceiling, maybe smile to yourself and think, here's to another day I get to keep showing up. And as we keep going, I want to share a few more morning habits that may surprise you. Not because they're complicated, but because they're so beautifully simple and powerful. Let's keep walking through this together. So, we're here, you and I, just having this gentle little heart-to-heart about something so simple, yet so powerful, how we greet the day. And I don't know about you, but just talking about this already makes me want to treat my mornings with a little more kindness. That's really what all of this is about. Not pushing ourselves, not chasing perfection, but treating ourselves with the same care and patience we give a beloved friend. Now, we've already talked about hydration and gentle movement, two beautiful ways to set the tone for the day. But there's something else that has a quiet kind of magic to it, and that's intentional stillness. I know it sounds like a contradiction. We just talked about movement, and now I'm inviting you into stillness. But hear me out. There's something that happens when the house is quiet and the sun is just beginning to spill through the curtains. That's the moment I'm talking about. It might only last 5 minutes, or 2. But in that little pocket of peace, before the phone starts buzzing or the to-do list starts whispering in your ear, you have a window, a moment to check in with yourself. And that can make all the difference. Now, some people call it meditation. Some call it prayer. Some folks just sit with their coffee and breathe. It doesn't need a label. You don't have to sit cross-legged or chant anything, unless you want to. You can just sit in your favorite chair, close your eyes, and take 3 slow, deep breaths. That's it. Breathe in, I am here. Breathe out, I am enough. You'd be amazed how powerful that is. Just giving your mind a chance to settle before the day begins. After 60, our thoughts can sometimes race faster than our bodies. Worries about health, family, the world, or simply wondering, am I doing enough with my time? It can weigh heavy. But this little ritual of morning stillness can be like a reset button. It reminds you that you don't need to chase the day. You just need to meet it calmly and clearly. I remember a man named Arthur. He used to live next door to my aunt. He was in his 80s, still sharp as a tack and full of stories. Every morning, rain or shine, he'd sit on his porch with a blanket on his knees and just look out at the trees. When I finally asked him what he was doing, he smiled and said, I'm listening. To the birds, to the breeze, to my thoughts. That's my medicine. And I'll never forget that. He lived to 97, by the way. He swore it was because he learned how to be still before rushing into the day. We underestimate how much stress sneaks into our minds first thing in the morning. From the news, our phones, even the voice in our head that says, you should be doing more. But starting the day with stillness says, I'm already doing enough just by being here. Just by showing up. Now, if this sounds hard, don't worry. You don't need to be a monk on a mountaintop to feel the benefits. Even just sitting with your hand over your heart for 1 minute, feeling it beat, whispering a little thank you to your body. That counts. That matters. And if you're someone who prays or writes in a journal, or reads something uplifting in the morning, that's beautiful too. It's all about starting your day with intention, not reactivity. When you begin the day grounded, it's like putting on emotional armor. Life still happens, sure, but you handle it with more grace. You move through the day from a place of calm, not chaos. Speaking of intention, here's a little something I'd love to ask you. If you're still here with me and this part of the conversation resonates with you, maybe you already practice some quiet time in the morning, or maybe you've never tried it but want to, would you mind sharing that with me in the comments? I'd love to hear how you welcome the day. Do you sit by the window with tea? Do you say a little prayer for your family? Or do you just enjoy the silence? There's no right or wrong. But I promise you, your story might inspire someone else watching this. Sometimes, the wisdom we carry without realizing it is the exact thing someone else needs to hear. That's the beauty of sharing moments like these. We're not here to fix ourselves. We're here to support, uplift, and gently nudge each other toward more joyful living. Now, I want to take a moment to say this. You don't need to have a perfect morning routine to live longer or feel better. Life isn't a checklist. These habits we're talking about, they're just small anchors. Gentle reminders that you're allowed to treat yourself with care, that you deserve to feel well, to feel hopeful, and to feel alive in your own skin, no matter how many birthdays you've celebrated. And when you start the day with that kind of care, when you hydrate, move gently, and sit quietly with yourself, you're not just adding comfort to your morning. You're adding quality and potentially years to your life. Because when we take care of our mornings, we take care of the foundation of every single day. And day by day, those tiny choices build a life that feels more vibrant, more connected, and more you. Let's keep walking this path together. There's still more I want to share with you. The more we talk about these gentle morning habits, the more I realize it's really not about the habits themselves. It's about how we treat ourselves in those quiet early moments. After 60, we've earned the right to move slower, to take up space, to savor the mornings instead of rushing through them. And yet, so often we treat ourselves like we're still supposed to race the clock. But you and I, we know better now. We've seen enough to understand that life isn't just about doing more. It's about being more. More present, more at peace, more alive in the little things. And speaking of little things, let me share a story with you. A few years ago, I visited a lovely woman named Diane. She was 78 at the time, still sharp, warm, and full of humor. Every morning, she had this little ritual. She'd sit at her kitchen table, open a small notebook, and write down just one thing she was grateful for. Just one. Sometimes it was the smell of coffee, or my daughter's phone call, or even, I didn't forget where I put my glasses today. Simple things. But every single day she found something. She told me something I'll never forget. She said, "You know what? Gratitude slows down time. When I'm thankful, I stop rushing. I stop worrying. I notice what's still good even on the hard days." And that brings us to the next beautiful habit that can truly add years to your life after 60. Morning gratitude. Now, I'm not talking about writing essays or pretending everything is perfect. Life isn't always sunshine and roses, and we've all had mornings that begin with stiffness, loss, or even loneliness. But even in those moments, choosing to name one thing that brings warmth to your heart, even just a memory, can shift everything. When we practice gratitude in the morning, something subtle but powerful happens in the brain. Science has shown it reduces stress hormones, lowers blood pressure, even boosts immune function. But more than that, it changes the lens we look through. Suddenly, the aches feel a little less loud, the worries a little less heavy. We start the day rooted in what's right, not what's wrong. You don't have to write it down, though you certainly can. Some folks say it out loud while brushing their teeth. Others whisper it to the sky while opening the curtains. Whatever feels natural to you. Maybe it's, "I'm grateful for this home." Or, "I'm grateful for the birds singing outside my window." Or maybe just, "I'm grateful for another day to try again." There's no wrong way to do it. It's about bringing your heart to the surface, even just for a moment, and letting it lead. And when your heart leads, your body listens. Your mind softens. You smile more. You connect more. And that's where real longevity lives. Not in the years we add to life, but the life we add to our years. Now, I want to say something gently but clearly here. If you're going through something heavy right now, grief, illness, change, I see you. And I know that on those mornings, even the word gratitude can feel far away. But please know, even in the hardest seasons, small joys still exist. They may not shout, but they whisper. A bird, a warm blanket, a memory that still makes you smile. Gratitude is not about ignoring the pain. It's about honoring what's still beautiful, even when life feels broken. And when you begin your day with that kind of awareness, it has a ripple effect. You'll notice more kindness in strangers. You'll laugh more freely. You'll feel a deeper connection to the world around you. And that connection? That's part of what keeps us thriving. Now, before we move forward, I'd love to ask one small thing. If this idea of morning gratitude speaks to you, if you've already been practicing it, or if today is the first time you're even considering it, would you consider subscribing to this channel? Not just for the information, but for the community. This is a space for people like you and me, folks who believe that life after 60 is still rich, still worth investing in, still full of potential. When you subscribe and turn on the notifications, you won't miss a thing. And every time we gather like this, we remind each other that we're not alone. This world can be noisy, overwhelming, and sometimes even a little dismissive of older adults. But not here. Here your voice matters. Your wisdom matters. And so does your story. Which brings me to this. Our stories, our memories, our experiences, our little quirks and rituals are part of what keeps us young at heart. You don't have to climb mountains or run marathons to age well. You just have to stay engaged, stay curious, and keep showing up for the things that feed your soul. And mornings? They're the perfect time for that. They're like a doorway we get to walk through every day, into a new chance to live with intention. So tomorrow, when you wake up and take those first sips of water, when you stretch or shuffle or sway gently to the music, when you sit quietly and breathe with your heart open, and when you name just one thing you're grateful for, remember this. You're not just passing time. You're building health. You're creating joy. You're adding layers of meaning and strength to your life that no number on a calendar can ever define. You deserve that. We all do. And as we continue walking through these habits together, there's one more beautiful piece of this puzzle I can't wait to share with you. But we'll ease into it just like everything else, softly, kindly, and with the kind of heart that only comes from living a full life. Let's keep going. There's something comforting about the pace we've settled into here, isn't there? Like two old friends sitting on the porch with a warm drink in hand, swapping little truths about life. We're not in a rush. We're not checking boxes. We're simply sharing what helps, what heals, what makes these years not just longer but better. And that brings me to one more habit, something I think doesn't get nearly enough credit when we talk about health and longevity. You might be surprised by it because it's not a vitamin or a stretch or a smoothie. It's connection. Real, meaningful connection. And yes, that can begin in the morning too. Now, I know mornings are often quiet for many of us. The kids are grown. The phone's not ringing yet. Maybe your partner is gone or you're living on your own. That silence can be soothing, yes, but it can also feel empty. That's why this next habit is so important. It's about finding one small way, just one, to reach out. Connection can take many forms. Maybe it's sending a good morning text to your sister or your neighbor. Maybe it's writing a short email to an old friend. Maybe it's feeding the birds and saying hello to them out loud like they're part of your morning club. And why not? They're reliable, they show up every day, and they sing you songs. Or maybe, just maybe, it's taking a moment in the mirror and speaking kindly to yourself. I know it sounds a little unusual at first, but looking into your own eyes and saying something gentle, "You're doing okay. I'm proud of you," can fill a space in the heart that no one else sees. We are wired for connection. That doesn't stop at 60 or 70 or 90. In fact, it becomes even more essential. Loneliness, especially in the morning hours, can sneak up on us. It can wear on the heart in subtle ways. But reaching out, even in the tiniest of gestures, can shift your whole day. It reminds you that you're part of something, even if it's just a shared smile with the mail carrier, or a little wave to someone walking their dog. I once knew a woman named Lillian. She was 82 and lived in a little white house at the end of a cul-de-sac. Every morning, she would sit on her front step with a notepad and write 3 people's names. People she wanted to check in on. Sometimes she called them, sometimes she prayed for them, and sometimes she just thought about them kindly. That was her morning connection practice. And she said it made her feel like she still had purpose, still had a role to play in the world. Isn't that beautiful? And let me tell you something true and important right now. You still have a role in this world. Your voice, your presence, your kindness, it matters more than you might ever know. And sometimes the smallest act of connection can ripple out in ways we never see. So what would it feel like to build that into your morning? Just one tiny act of connection. It doesn't have to be big. Even just writing a note to leave on someone's porch. Saying good morning to the lady at the grocery store. Smiling at your reflection and saying, "Today I choose peace." These aren't just nice things to do. They're vital. They're life-affirming. When we connect with others, or with ourselves, we tap into something deeper. Our stress goes down. Our immune system gets a boost. Our heart rhythms actually begin to regulate. The body knows when the heart is open, and it responds with vitality. Now I want to say something gently here in case this all feels a little out of reach today. Maybe you've lost someone. Maybe mornings are a reminder of that absence. Maybe reaching out feels heavy, like more than you can do right now. If that's the case, I want to wrap you in the warmest kind of understanding. Because grief is real, and mornings can stir it up. But even then, even especially then, connection can be your lifeline. You don't have to make a grand gesture. Just whispering to a photo or lighting a candle for someone you miss can be enough. That, too, is connection. And here's the beautiful thing. Connection keeps us alive in more ways than one. People who nurture social bonds, no matter how small, live longer. That's been proven again and again. But more than that, they live better. They smile more, sleep better, feel more grounded. And that's the kind of longevity we're talking about here. Not just existing, but thriving. So tomorrow morning, after your glass of water, after you've stretched, after you've sat with yourself and maybe whispered a word of gratitude, take a moment to reach, even just a little bit. A text, a nod, a smile, a prayer, a kind word in the mirror. Let your presence be felt, even if only by one other living being. That small ripple can carry more power than you'll ever know. And you never know who needed it. Maybe someone is waiting to hear from you today. Maybe you're the bright moment in their morning. We often talk about aging as if it's a slow drifting away. But I think the truth is, it can also be a deep return. A return to what matters. A return to connection. A return to you. And I just want to remind you, because it bears repeating, you're not alone here. You're part of a growing circle of people who are waking up each morning and choosing life, choosing kindness, choosing meaning. That's a powerful thing. So take your time. Give yourself grace. You don't have to do everything at once. But let your mornings be sacred. Let them be a place where your spirit gets a little lighter, where your body feels a little stronger, and your heart opens just a little wider. And from there, well, anything is possible. Let's keep walking this path together, gently and with love. So here we are, my friend, 5 quiet mornings shared in a way. Not in the same room, but in spirit. And I hope you felt it too, that soft nudge, that reminder that this life, right here, right now, still holds so much goodness for you. We've talked about a few gentle habits, simple things really, drinking water, moving your body with care, welcoming gratitude into your heart, reaching out to connect, even in the smallest of ways. None of these habits require perfection. None of them ask for more than you have to give. And yet, each one is powerful in its own quiet way. Because when you wake up and choose to care for yourself, even in tiny ways, you're sending a message to your body and your spirit. I'm still here. I still matter. And you do. You matter more than you know. It's easy, especially as we get older, to feel like the world is moving on without us. Like we've somehow become background characters in a story we used to star in. But let me say this clearly, you are not in the background. Not here. Not in this community. Not in your own life. You've walked through decades of experiences, laughter, love, loss, surprises you never saw coming. And still you're here, waking up, seeking new ways to care for yourself. That takes courage. That takes hope. And that hope, that's a life-extending, heart-lifting, soul-healing force. It's never too late to build a new habit. It's never too late to feel better in your body, to lift the fog in your mind, to brighten your outlook. Even one small step each morning can become a turning point. Think about that. A turning point, not because you did something huge or heroic, but because you chose to show up for yourself one morning at a time. And here's the thing, mornings build on each other. Today's little wind becomes tomorrow's second wind. You might start with a glass of water and end up walking a little farther than you did yesterday. You might sit in quiet gratitude one morning and find yourself smiling more naturally throughout the day. You might text someone in passing and find a friendship rekindled, a little light returning to both your lives. These things add up, not just to better days but to more days. And more days mean more chances. More chances to laugh until your belly shakes. More chances to share your stories. More chances to sit under a tree and listen to the birds and feel that you are still deeply, wonderfully alive. You're not done yet. Not even close. There's so much still to discover, so many people who still need the wisdom you carry. There's someone out there, maybe a neighbor, maybe a grandchild, maybe even a stranger online, who will be touched by the way you live your life now. Not the way you lived it 20 years ago. No. And that's the gift of embracing new habits at this stage in life. You're not chasing youth, you're claiming your vitality. You're standing tall in the body you have today saying, "This is me, and I'm still blooming." Now, before we close, I just want to thank you for spending this time with me, for taking these words into your heart, for allowing yourself the kindness of believing in a better tomorrow. If this video resonated with you, if even one part of it stirred something in your spirit, I'd love for you to like this video, leave a comment, share it with a friend, or subscribe if you haven't yet. But more than that, I just want you to feel that you're part of something here. You're not walking this path alone. In fact, I'd love to hear from you in the comments. What's one morning habit that helps you feel good? What's something you're grateful for today? Let's create a circle of voices down there, a morning ritual of encouragement and real connection. And remember this always, you are never too old, never too far gone, never too late to begin again. Your life still holds richness, joy, laughter, and peace. Don't let anyone, especially that little voice in your own head, convince you otherwise. Every new day is a gift, so unwrap your mornings with care. Savor the quiet, stretch toward the light, and move into your day with softness and strength. Here's to you and to the years still ahead. May they be full of light, love, and mornings that feel like a fresh beginning. Here's to living your best life at any age. Until next time, take good care. You're worth it.
Thank you so much for watching all the way to the end. It truly means a lot. If you found this video helpful or inspiring, please give it a thumbs up. Share it with a friend or loved one who might benefit. And leave a comment below. We love hearing your thoughts and experiences. And don't forget to subscribe and hit the notification bell so you never miss out on our latest tips and uplifting advice for living your best life at any age. Now, if you're ready for more wisdom and encouragement, just click the video that's on your screen right now. It's packed with even more insights made just for you. Take care, stay positive, and we'll see you in the next one.